Hi, I'm Joe.
And I'm Tracy, and this is our channel, Retirement in Color. And in today's video, we are going to talk about why we're nomads and issues and things that have come up that we never would have anticipated. So make sure you watch until the end as we talk about these issues, and we'll also discuss things that we're enjoying about being nomads.
So why are we nomads? We sold our house here in Arizona in order to fund the build of our new home in Alabama, lakefront property we purchased. And we have to wait for that to be built for just a few more months. While we wait, we have freedom to live anywhere and to go to do many things we never thought possible. We've been what we call chasing the weather. We spent a month in Missouri at Lake of the Ozarks, and we had a wonderful time. Then we went down to Galveston, Texas, and the weather there was wonderful too, and we took a cruise. And now we're back in Arizona again because it's December and we want to spend the holidays with our families. So that's a wonderful thing. We're just really having a good time. We're finding what are called midterm rentals. So they're not the short term that are the VRBOs or regular apartments with a year lease, but basically 30 days or more stay. And we are enjoying life.
But what's nice is that the utilities are included in the rental prices as well as Wi-Fi. So it's way cheaper than doing an Airbnb.
And they're furnished.
And they're furnished. So let's talk about things that we didn't think about before we became nomads.
One of the difficulties is since we have no permanent address, that provides some complications, such as when I didn't update my address with the DMV, and so my ballot wasn't delivered to my sister's house, which we use as our mailing address. So I had to fly back to Arizona to vote. That's just one of the things. Another one was insurance. When we called to take our daughter off the insurance, because in this whole process, she'd moved out and has her own apartment, her own insurance. So when I called, they gleaned from that we weren't living in Arizona, and they canceled or threatened to cancel our insurance because you have to live in the state your car's insured to for 4 of the 6 months. And so that's another reason we came back to Arizona, so that we could meet that requirement.
Right. And another thing that we didn't think about is in these rentals, typically they're furnished with very cheap items. The furniture, the mattresses, the furnishings in the kitchen. For instance, this sofa that we're sitting on right now, it's actually just a futon, but it's a broken futon that has to lean up against the couch in order for it to have a back. The mattresses that we're sleeping on are very cheap, and I find that we're both having back issues. And just the furnishings in the kitchen, they're either incomplete or not desirable. Like the cutting boards that I've seen in every rental we've been in are these little thin pieces of plastic. Like, what's up with that? And we've been having to buy things to supplement the items in the kitchen, like a knife or a can opener, and then like, do we bring it with us? Do we leave it there? So just things like that. So now what we've learned when we're finding our next rental is to really study the picture. And I know we're not going to be able to learn everything from that picture, but specifically, we're looking at the furniture in the living room. Are we going to be comfortable sitting in the sofa watching TV when we're in for the night? Does the bed look comfortable? Does it have a box spring perhaps? Because I think that might be one of the reasons why we're not comfortable here is none of the mattresses have box springs.
Is the house big enough to entertain if we want to have some friends over before we go out to dinner or something?
Mm-hmm. And another thing about this particular rental that we're in here is it smells like marijuana all the time. And I know you can't glean that from the picture, but
it's not my fault.
No, but just things like this you encounter that you just never thought about.
Another difficulty with not having a permanent address or with being a nomad is we don't have access to our things. Tracy's a real crafter and she likes to make things and do things, that type of hobby. I like to go maybe target shooting and my guns are in storage, or there's just not access to your things is complicated and can be emotionally challenging.
Right. And that is one of the things that I have been dealing with lately is an ungrounded feeling. And that one was a really big surprise to me. Just feeling like since we're not tied to a place yet and our home's not going to be ready for a few months yet, I just kind of feel like we're flailing around a little bit and just maybe perhaps biding our time. But it's not like you're just biding 1 week or 2 weeks. We're biding months of time. So that really has kicked in an ungrounded feeling and a bit of depression for me, that it's just something that I never really expected to happen.
Another difficulty is prescriptions. I thought this through with ordering 6 months of prescriptions, but that didn't work because they only gave me 3 months. So you just have to then forward your prescriptions to another doctor, or speaking of doctors, your annual or semi-annual visits with your doctor or dentist. We're fortunate this time that we'd come back to Arizona so I could see my regular doctors, but as we move forward, we may not be that lucky.
Right. And that segues into medical insurance. Since we don't really have a permanent residence yet, we decided to stay on Cobra from my past job. Well, that costs $1,900 a month for the two of us, which is ridiculous. And the fact that I went to the doctor last week and I still had to pay $160. So it's really a difficult pill to swallow when you're putting out that much money. But hopefully, when we get to Alabama, we'll be able to look through the healthcare marketplace and hopefully find some cheaper options, especially since we're not 65 yet and we can't go on Medicare.
So let us know in the comments if you've encountered any of these difficulties, and how you overcame them. Also, if you have suggestions where we can go next, because we still got a couple months to fill, and we want good weather.
Yeah, we're trying to figure that out. We've thrown back and forth different areas, but we're still way undecided on that. So if you have any ideas, let us know.
Some of the ones we're thinking of, maybe stay here in the valley, or go to Tucson, San Diego, possibly Miami, or somewhere in Florida, somewhere else along the Gulf besides Galveston. Maybe do another cruise while we're there. Just someplace where the weather's not cold.
Right. So let's switch gears and talk about the things that we've been enjoying since we've been nomads. And I think probably the number one is that it comes with a huge amount of freedom, basically because we can go anywhere. So we've had some great days. Like one day we're fishing in the Gulf of Mexico in Texas, standing in the water, beautiful sunshine, catching fish. And then the next week we're on a cruise. So that's been really nice, seeing different parts of the country.
Yeah, we've driven across through the Rockies, across the bayous, through plains, and we've seen the Midwest. We've seen great parts of this country and wildlife everywhere we go, whether it be buffalo, deer, elk, eagles, hawks. With dolphins. We have really enjoyed the freedom that comes with the travel.
And the different food that you get to eat in different parts of the country.
We've also been able to drop everything on request to help out friends or family wherever we are, and just to enjoy the day in spontaneous ways and do things because they're there. That's a lot of fun for us. Our dog is living his best life ever. We got him during COVID, and he loves being around us. And now that we're retired, we spend even more time with him, and he just enjoys the time in the car, the time with us, and he's done and seen things that he never thought he would do because, well, it's a whole new life for him too.
We've actually made a cute little video of being a nomad, but through a dog's perspective. So if you have a minute, go look up that video on our channel. I think it's pretty cute. But that's our video. We hope it helps you if you find yourself in the same situation that we are. And like we said before, please comment down below how you've dealt with things, how you're enjoying things, maybe something that we haven't thought about that you've encountered while you're a nomad. We'd love to hear it. And if you want to see a walkthrough of the progress of our house when the walls went up, then make sure you watch this video here. And in the meantime, we'll see you in the next video.
Goodbye.
Bye.